Welcome everyone to this modern house tutorial for day whatever it is. I'm so sorry this took so long, Pestro, but I've had a few fails with this build, as you can see over there, and this also I had like a few ideas mixed up in between, so hopefully you find this useful. If not, I will more than happily do a lot more modern houses within the next days. But for now, this is what you get. I'm so sorry. So if you do not know, basically I'm doing a tutorial every day as good as I can. Whatever you guys want, leave a comment what you want to see for your tutorials, and I'll feature that comment like Pestos right here. Bing bam boom. Let's get into this build though. Okay, it's time to get started with this stupidly complicated modern house build. As you can see, this is my block palette, going for gray concrete, smooth quartz, and deep slate. That's pretty much all I need to know for this build. Now we're gonna get into it. As you can see, I already did some progress by accident. This is a nice little just feature wall to enter into the house. This is my railing design. Don't love it, but don't hate it, but some of the best I can do. I've already done a few bits here. This was just to see how to pace out the floors, and this was just to test my window design. So I'm gonna break this down basically in this 1 2 3 4 5 6 by 1 2 3 4 area. So 6 this way, 4 this way, 5 this way, sorry. You're gonna have this simple glass design. Basically, I'm using full blocks and panes to give this kind of textured window so it's not so flat, add some dimension to it. But that's pretty much just that for right there. Right here is basically because we're gonna have a door right here coming through, and I want some light into this build. So it's kind of complicated. I'll do my best to break this down, but you guys want a modern house, and after some trial and error, this is kind of the design I came up with. It's a lot of squares, so it's easier just to follow along block by block. So first we're going to start with kind of this front area. Luckily, this build I decided to like mirror, so halfway here, if you mirror this to this side, it'll be exactly the same, except for this area right here to like to make it a little more unique. But luckily you have this nice lookout point into the ocean. So further ado, I'm gonna start breaking this down. We're gonna start with the door area since it's the easiest. You're gonna need this 4 block area. Just make sure you carve out a massive area for this house. But we need this 4 block area, and we're gonna replace all that with our smooth quartz and go up one right here and place a door in, then glass, then white. Or you can do gray, dependent on if you want to see the gray from the inside or the white. Your choice on this part. I'm gonna keep it gray since I like the color gray. Anyway, so with this 4 block area, you want to come out, including this one, 1 2 3 4, and have this 6 long, 5 high, then 6 back, then 5, and fill in your glass. So here we're going to take this up all the way 5 high, and here we're going to take this up 3 high, then 1 over top, and fill this 5 high in with our smooth quartz. If you have a texture pack that has kind of a gray door, I don't. I'm using just plain old textures. You can also use an iron door if you want, I guess, since that's a little more modern. But it'd be nice to have a dark colored door. But we don't have that yet in Minecraft. So I'm gonna place this here. Make sure you place a button. Try to do something similar to the color palette you have. I guess gray is the best. But anyways, let's move on from that door, and let's focus right here. So here you want to go 1 2 3 4 with glass, and the 5th block is going to be your gray, and then 4 more, then gray, then 2 more, then gray, and take that across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're just still trying to figure out the flow of this house. So right here, we're going to place all this 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 high with white quartz. Here, if you want to, we can fill all this in right now, since this also goes up 12 high. And that's so far a good chunk of the front done. So hopefully I'm making this easy to follow along. Now with this part, you're going to take this block out 1 further than that gray you have, and take it down 1. For now, take it down 2. Just so we can have a clean point up top here. Now I've noticed with a lot of the modern houses I was looking at, on the top of the part, they have like a black, thin, like, roof outline. I don't know why. I'm no architecture, but they do. Anyways, we're gonna go to this corner here. Coming off of this part, we're gonna make this a square and start taking it all the way up to the 12th height, 12th block height. So I'm gonna take all this down and then keep taking this up. You need tons of quartz and concrete for this. So this is not a starter house build, obviously, unless you can get all this stuff in the beginning, then good job. So make sure this comes out 1, and then 2, and then 2. So it's just gonna be a nice square coming up 12 high. Now we can connect these 2 pieces of the house together. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make a nice little square and top that off with your black carpet. You can fill this area in too if you want. However, we might fill that in with gray, since in my little my little reference, they have 2 colors for the roofs. But that's not important right now. Since we have that done, we're going to take this from your main window and fill this in as white. So follow this block all the way along. If you want to, you can make this come all the way out. If you want kind of more like dimension to your build. But for now, I'm leaving it flat, since this top here is overhanging already. But off of this corner, we're going to want to take these 2 blocks, so move in to your corner and replace these 2 blocks with deep slate. So that's 5 high. You can make it a square if you want to. But there's, oh, I'm trapped. So there's the texture variation now we have. If you want, you can make this go out 1 more. But you have to compensate for that over here. So then you have to replace here all along that carpet. Your choice. I don't know. Honestly, if you want to take out 1 more, you can too, so you have more overhang. But you want to leave enough where this isn't coming too tight. So that's that part done. Basically, the thing with modern houses you want to keep in mind is having just a whole bunch of different levels and like 3D-ness to the build, if that makes sense. You don't want your build to be flat, really, except for like these parts, if that makes sense. Anyways, we're gonna continue to do this house right here. We're replacing with gray wool or concrete. since this is now 4 long, we can take this part out and use this as our outline. So 3 by 5. And now replace that with your glass blocks. Make sure on the inside, you also replace that with gray concrete. Because this can be like that, you can't see that. Just makes it a little easier. Kind of a nice build so far. Nothing too fancy, but kind of hard. Fill in your roof with gray. If you want to, you can use grass and like bone meal that. But your choice. So this is what we have right now. We want some lights along here, so you can use end rods if you want, or you can use lanterns, or you can figure out something in between. Here's an idea for lights, but I don't know. Again, it's your choice. You just want to make sure you light up the build somehow. You can also take this out a couple and then have this like that. But again, all your choices. I'm just trying to give you a rough look of a modern house. Since this is not my build style, I'm trying my best. I promise. So basically we have the front done. If you want to, just completely mirror that onto the back side, and then we can start moving on to this part. But I'm going to speed up that whole back side so you guys don't have to go through that again. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that right now. Oh, okay. So, hopefully you guys saw that sped up process. But I basically just took this, mirrored it over here. But I subtracted the door from it. Uh-oh, did it? Hold on here. Yeah, okay. Just forgot one thing. Gotta make sure this isn't exposed. Anyways, but what I also did was I just connected all of this across to each other. That's simple. Under here is just white smooth quartz. There's nothing over the top. It's looking pretty good. Oh, it's looking pretty good. Plenty of room on the inside so far. But let's jump to this side here. So I don't want too much on this side. Honestly, really, you just fill this all in if you want to. That's an option. But you can also have it where you have windows. But since it's such a large area, I recommend getting at least a couple windows in. But the main feature is going to be those windows since they face out to the ocean. So we're just going to fill all this in with our quartz. And then we'll look at it and see what we can do to improve it. Mom. Yeah, so again, it's okay to have just nothing on walls since this works out very well. And like that little detail we have up top here to kind of just do something with it. But if you really want to, don't overdo it on the windows on this side. I would say at most, take your gray, cut out a 5 area. Oh, I guess that's 4. This would be 4x4 area. Take the gray and just come in here. Let's do 5. And then with your fancy glass window design, just place that right there. So at least there's something, but you don't really need anything. But you want to, I would just recommend do something like that so it kind of matches here. And then make sure you put, you don't really need carpet here, but if you want to, you can place carpet. But your choice to keep that just completely closed off or a window. I kind of like it closed off. Personally, it's just the window it's just such a weird area that it being completely closed off is nice, and they can like kind of like copy this build and mirror it to here. Then it depends what you want to do. I'm gonna stop talking about that. So I'll leave that for now. But this is the main side that I want to deal with. Now that we have pretty much everything else filled in, except for the roof right here. I'll talk about this right now. You can either toss in all your gray concrete and close it off. You can add a skylight if you want. But that depends on what you're doing with the interior, I guess. If you want to, you can also do grass, since grays and greens work well together. So you can have a little like garden area if you want on the top here. But to do that, you should have like a little entrance. Now I'll just do something simple like that. Just nothing over the top. You don't want a lot of random stuff up here. Since it's a roof, I guess no one's going to see it, so you can't put a whole bunch of stuff you want, but your choice completely. The thing is, you're going to need like a ladder, so you want to make like a little attic. I hope I pronounced that right. Anyways, let's jump to this side. So let's get a quick cut. Actually, quick, before we get started, I realized I messed up here. So I want all this to connect right here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 lawn. Just for reference, since this is a very just massive and kind of complicated build, one of the more complicated ones I've done on my channel recently. But with that, fill this all in, since it would be easier to add stuff in after than worry about adding it in later. So you want to fill in this huge 21 by 14, I believe, area. 21 by 12 area with all your quartz. Again, if you want, you can leave it like that. You're planning on building multiple houses back to back, but you just want this one house. We're gonna add some stuff to make it a little unique. Basically, side note, I'm doing this because I kind of looked over this side. I don't like what I had planned for it, so I'm just gonna cut all this stuff out and then go off of a new idea I came up with just now. Real-time adjustments. It's all about the build process. Am I right? Am I right? You know what I mean. So I mean, if you want to leave it like this, this is actually pretty nice. You have a ton of inside area. You have a little variation in here too. Let's place this so we can see. Make sure with the floor you replace that. With this floor, I don't know what you want to do with it. It's a large area, and like I'm not sure wood's the thing you want. But make sure your second floor, you go along that gray line you have. And just finish all this up. Then also here will also be another floor line. So you're gonna have a very small 2x2 area up here. So this can be like a little, I don't know, a little just storage area up here, or you can design it so this level is actually like stairs up to here, and this could be a nice little lookout. I don't know, let me know what you guys want with the interior, but just make sure you have all your sides filled in. It's not too complicated if you keep it just like this, but once we start adding stuff on the outside there, it's gonna get a little more complicated. So I hope you guys like this tutorial. But y'all want modern houses, so I'm gonna start doing a lot more modern houses. I have a few ideas in the works. It's just this was the first one that I can kind of finalize in my head and figure out. Again, let me say this again. Modern houses, I never build in that kind of style. So kind of learning alongside you guys, but just make sure we have functioning door. And now let's get started into this flush, just flapped side facing the ocean. Finally, after some time, we found it. Ooh, sorry about that. But I think I'm happy with it now. So let me break this down for you guys now. I'll probably cut that whole part. I don't know, I might leave it in. Who knows? But we're back, no matter what. Okay, so basically with this, we had 2 space left right here. And then with this 2 space left on the back here, we did a 3x2 deep slate all the way up 13 high, so it's just above this one but below that one, and just filled all that in. The next to that, we carved out a door, a button. Then next to the button, we have our gray pillar going 4 high, then 3 across. Left 2 spaces, then carved into that white we had, and used gray concrete and filled in 4. And then off of this block here, we came out 2 and built another pillar up 10 high, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 across. So this should line up where that is. Now, since we have that part complete, we're gonna look in here. Within here, we need the window 2 thick in the middle, and then everything else is gonna be your outline. So with this, you're gonna take up all the way till 9 high, 1 below this one, and then cross all the way till you are in line with this. Come down, leave 2 blocks empty, then connected here where these 2 meet, And then in this empty area, you're going to fill in with your glass with that same technique of a full block, then a pane, alternating until that is completed. So now on this side, after the gray, you leave one white block, and then you carve in, once again, matching that, 5, and then 5, 5, and that should line up with that one block you already have for this window. So with that, you just fill it in. This mirrors this perfectly. So if you're confused, just look at that as a reference. But that is most of this build completed. I know it is kind of a mess, a little bit right there, but sometimes it has to be. But that would take us out to the ocean view. So let's take a quick walk through this house. You have this area filled into here, but right in line here, you have this floor to practically ceiling lookout. With this, you're just going to use a railing system. So I'm not sure what you want to do for rail in here, but your choices. This is just a quick, easy one. It kind of looks semi-modern. I guess to fix that, you just take out your corners. It's perfect. I would probably recommend putting your stairs. If you're looking from the inside, put your stairs right along here. Since this wall is pretty much useless, you can just make stairs all along here. You have a nice lookout point when walking down the stairs. Oh, you can't. Oh. I guess you can have stairs and come around. I don't know. Interior's up to you. If you want me to, I can do a video on that. But for now, I'm gonna leave that plain. But this is the build we have completed. So kind of simple, kind of complicated. It all depends on what you want to add to the basic of the build. If you want to, again, you can leave this flat, just pure spruce blocks, not spruce, smooth quartz. And you can leave this side also smooth, but if you want some more, you know, depth to your build, this is a nice, easy way to do it. Hope you like it. I'm trying to see what this looks like right now, actually. That's not bad, that's not bad. But that might be too much gray. Anyways, that's for you to decide you want to keep that or not. But we do have this amazing ocean lookout point once again. Too bad I don't know how to use doors. Look at that. Nice view for a nice house. But we're gonna wrap it up here. So if you guys like this video, make sure you are subscribed. Comment for what you guys want to see next. I will be doing more modern house builds. There'll be a little bit better editing than this will turn out, since this was a little bit of a mess. But let me know how it goes. If you guys need help at all, leave a comment. More than happy to see what I can do to help. But other than that, have a good one.